Welcome back to Robert's Reviews. This is going to be a very long video. I'm sorry. Today we're talking about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2 was made and released between September 2014 and May 2015. It is about 18 hours long if you calculate how much time it actually ran, so it took me forever to watch this. It took me about 3 weeks because I was also in the middle of working about 35-hour weeks every week and also doing other stuff, and so it took me a long time to watch this one. But, boy was it worth it. I forgot to write down what I was rating this. I think I'm going to give it that. Alright, so let's jump right into this video because it's going to be long as hell because a lot happens in the season, and I mean a lot. That being said, this is going to be a semi-non-spoiler review, because I do believe that some people in this, that watch my videos, have not seen Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. yet. If you have not, go watch it. It's phenomenal. There are great seasons. I mean, I think it just gets better and better. Every single time I watch a season, it gets better. I just finished Season 4, a few weeks ago, and oh my goodness, it blew my mind. Season 4 so far is my favorite. I'm starting Season 5 in about 2 weeks. Very excited. By the time this comes out, I might have already started it. I honestly don't know. But we're talking about Season 2 today. So, I'm going to go over the basis of what happens, and the basis is going to take me 10 minutes to talk about because there's so many things that happen. And I have to focus on making it semi-non-spoilery because I don't want to ruin anything that happens in Season 1 or Season 2 or Season 3. What a challenge this is about to be. Let's jump right in! So, this is what I like to call the Inhuman Storyline, okay? We start looking at Inhumans in this season. The first season focused on basically S.H.I.E.L.D. as a whole, and this one focuses on Inhumans. So, we leave off Season 1 with an unfortunate event that I will not talk about between Fitz and Simmons, and it leaves them kind of a little crazy. And we leave off with Samuel Jackson's character, Nick Fury, telling Phil Coulson to start up S.H.I.E.L.D. He's like, listen, I understand that S.H.I.E.L.D. just fell and that Hydra just took over, but we were going to get rid of Hydra. Once Hydra's gone, I want you to start S.H.I.E.L.D. again. So, we get to see director Phil Coulson for the first time. But Phil Coulson's starting to go a little crazy. He's starting to write these weird things. He's starting to etch into the wall. He etches into the wall every single night before he falls asleep these weird symbols of lines and circles. And then every night he goes to sleep, and then he gets a new wall put up, and then he scratches into the wall again every night. And it's scary. I mean, it's actually a thriller. It's so cool. Somebody is in custody. They end up getting whoever the traitor was in the first season. They get that person into custody to basically watch over that person to make sure that that person does not screw anything up again. Simmons goes undercover in Hydra to try to put an end to Hydra and its facilities. She's undercover there as a doctor. This makes Fitz go crazy because due to an unfortunate event, Fitz has an issue in his brain where his brain doesn't quite work like it used to, which is unfortunate because Fitz is my favorite character. So I'm over here no, oh my god, oh god. It was really, really, really sad for me. That being said, I still loved it when Fitz was on screen because he's my favorite. But he's going crazy and he imagines that Simmons is right there because the other part of his brain is Simmons. That's why they call him Fitz Simmons, because he is so close with Gemma Simmons that he starts to go crazy and imagines that Simmons is there and that he could talk to her, but she's not. She's infiltrating Hydra right now. Let's see, what else is there? So eventually, within the first 10 episodes, they find out that the symbols that Coulson is drawing every night is probably the blueprints to a city. And they find out where that city is because Skye is an excellent hacker. There's a lot going on. I'm trying to make sure I don't miss anything, but I'm also trying to make sure I don't spoil anything. The person in custody says that he knows... Well, now you know it's a he. God damn it. that just watch the show. Really, just go do it. He knows that like what's going to happen if they go there. The reason they're going there is because they have this item called the obelisk, which is a what is it called in 084, I think. It's an unidentified object that could potentially be dangerous. And they found it back in Captain America, right after Captain America, the first Avenger, with Peggy Carter, actually. Peggy Carter finds it, boxes it, and sends it to S.H.I.E.L.D. And it's still there, and somebody breaks in and takes it. And eventually, Coulson gets it back, but they have no idea what it does. This person named Cal, I need to write this down, hang on. This person named Cal knows what it does. And we find out what it does pretty quickly. We know that it makes Inhumans, basically. Anybody who has this gene in them, this Inhuman gene, becomes an Inhuman when exposed to Terrigen crystals. Which is, we find some inside this obelisk, pretty much. Essentially. So they go into this blueprinted city, and they're going to destroy the city so that nobody can, use the obelisk. But instead, bad things happen, and Skye accidentally gets exposed, and she has the gene in her, and so she becomes an Inhuman. And that's really where we wrap up the first 10 episodes, and they have a small break. Meanwhile, during all this, Ward is communicating with his brother because he had family issues. He does that pretty much throughout the entirety of the season. It's mainly with Ward. It's between him and his brother. And we get to see a lot of that family history, and it's really interesting and really scary. And you would think it would be boring because it sounds kind of boring, but it's not. I was interested the whole time. I had a great time watching that, and you will too. That's the first 10 episodes. Damn. Okay. Then, I forget which movie takes place then, but I think it's Age of Ultron. And then, in between 17 and 24, I believe it's Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I could be wrong. I don't quite remember. I know that Daredevil takes place in between season 19 and 24. Not that it matters. They're semi-related. It's just timeline. But anyway, episodes 11 through 19 establish the Inhumans. And what I mean by establish the Inhumans is that Skye basically wakes up in this place called the Afterlife. And only this one guy who's blind, he can't see anything, can travel between, Earth and wherever the Afterlife place is. And it's really cool. This lady who's this Asian lady, basically is training Skye, and Skye finds out that this person is her mother. She's finally with her mother. And then we find out very shortly thereafter that Cal, the guy that is working on the obelisk and steals it and stuff like that, is her father. And so she's got her parents back again. And it's this crazy reunion. I'd love to talk about it more, but I don't want to spoil too much. And it also would take forever. I'm trying to keep this relatively short because it is a lot. And most of you probably haven't seen this yet. And I want you to. I want you to go watch it after you watch my review. Then watch my review again. Okay. I'm not going to get into it too much. I know I could. I could talk about for hours about just this relationship, just these couple episodes. But it's intense. And soon we find out that Skye's mother is a bad person and is trying to start a war with the humans. Which is bad. We get a lot more May. We get a lot more May backstory, which is nice because then we can move forward with May because May was really boring in the first season, in my opinion. The second season brings her backstory to life, which makes her character so much better. Wow, it's so much better after we get to learn more about her backstory. And now I love watching Agent Man screen. Let's see. Eventually, towards the end of the series, I believe after episode 19, when they declare war, Cal eventually is forced to kill his own wife. And it is very sad, and it's crazy, but he does. And then, because Cal technically saved them, the end of the season shows that they wipe Cal's memory so that he can keep working. Cal does tell Skye that her name is Daisy. So now she goes by Daisy. So that happens. The Traitor starts Hydra again. We get to see a lot of that cool stuff in the next season. Very excited to have more of that. And Coulson asks Daisy to lead the Inhumans. The Inhumans are basically like these cool people that have powers, basically. They're humans that have special powers. And her special powers is she can like cause earthquakes. And she can like vibrate the earth. It's pretty cool. We get to see quite a lot of that in the next season. The next season blew my freaking mind. Holy crap. Whew, next season's really cool. I'm very excited to talk about that. And the end of this season, we get like basically what is an end credits scene that shows something very awful happening to one of my favorite characters. And holy crap, it is unbelievable what happens. You won't believe it. You won't be ready for it. It'll come out of the blue and you'll be like, oh god, what's going to happen? Whew, it was so good. So good, so good, so good, so good, so good. But I'm not going to tell you what it is because I want you to see it yourself. Let's talk about the acting real quick, and I think we can wrap up the video. I think it might actually not be that long. That's awesome. Clark Gregg is Phil Coulson, of course. I'm not going to talk too much about a lot of these main characters because we talked about it a lot in the first Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode. He was great. We get to see a little bit more of him in this season, but a little bit more as the director. And honestly, I almost like him more as an agent because you get the shows as like he's got this like badass, like I'm better than you kind of thing. But now that he's a director, he kind of loses that edge because it doesn't matter. Everyone knows he's better, which is kind of sad. But we get more in the next couple seasons with a lot more Coulson, and I'm very excited. Ming-Na Wen as Agent May. May gets a really cool backstory, and we get to learn so much more about her. I love watching her on screen now. I did not like her in Season 1. I love her in Season 2. Chloe Bennett as Daisy or Skye, depending on what part of the season you're watching, did okay. I'm not a huge fan of the character, if I'm honest with you, which is sad because she's kind of like the glue that holds everything together. But she did a really great job, particularly when she goes through this change and she becomes Daisy instead of Skye, and it's like, whoa, that's crazy. That's a whole character flip flop. And for a lot of the season, I think that the actress is a little confused as to what she should be playing towards, but then in the next couple seasons she leans full throttle into some really, really cool stuff. So I'm really excited to talk about that in the next couple episodes. Elizabeth Henstridge as Simmons. I love Simmons. Simmons is great, and in the beginning of the season she's phenomenal because she is infiltrating Hydra as a double agent for S.H.I.E.L.D. and Hydra. And we get to see that because Simmons is always a good person. She's an awful liar. So it's really cool to get to see her in this position where she has to lie. And she has to be an awful person. And it's really great to see that. I was really excited when I heard that was going to happen. Ian DeCaxtecker as Fetz. I love Fetz. Favorite character in the whole series. Always it has been, always will be. I love him so much. He did a phenomenal job playing basically this guy that is traumatic. He's basically got PTSD mixed with a little brain damage from what happened in Season 1, and we get to see him fight that basically towards the end of the season where he's like, listen, I need to go back to being who I was because I can't live with being who I am. Really, really cool. You should watch him just for that. A new character, I believe it's new for this season, is Mac, who is played by Henry Simmons. And I didn't like Mac in Season 1, if I'm totally honest with you. I just didn't. I didn't quite enjoy Mac in this season. I wrote down this character. I don't think this character is in this season. Sorry. But Mac is really, really cool in this series. But I don't like him in Season 2. In Season 3, we get to see way more. In Season 4, we get to see even more. And Mac becomes one of my favorite characters. But for now, he's in the background for most of it. And he's not my favorite. Brett Dalton is Grant Ward. Grant Ward is probably my second favorite character just because he's so badass and cool and just he's so cool. I don't want to say too much about it because he has this crazy character arc that you need to watch for yourself. We have some new actors and actresses here that are definitely new to the series. Adrian Poliski, I think is how you pronounce it, plays Bobby, and she is was undercover at Hydra for way longer than Simmons was, and she helped Simmons get out. And then we meet Nick Blood's Hunter. And Hunter and Bobby have a chemistry. They used to be married and now they're not. So they go on a lot of missions together throughout the season. and we see a lot of bickering back and forth. And it's really funny, sad, and depressing because they still love each other. You can obviously tell, but it's just never going to work out. And I was really happy that we got to see these two characters. Hunter became one of my favorites immediately. He walked in and was like, that guy's awesome. He's funny. He's hilarious. He's good at what he does in this show. Don't count Hunter out. Hunter's great. And then Kyle MacLachlan, I think is how you pronounce it, as Cal, who is Daisy's father, who is wicked. I mean, crazy in this show. Because you never know if he's a good guy or bad guy. I still don't really know if he was a good guy or a bad guy, particularly in this season, but you can decide for yourself. Wow, that was relatively short. I'm really proud of myself. I talked really fast. I'm sorry if you didn't catch all of that. I'd love to have a conversation with somebody about this, so if any of you guys have watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., drop it in the comments below or add it to the Facebook group thread, and I'd love to talk about it with you guys. If you haven't seen it, watch it. If you plan on watching it, put it in the comments below. Let me know, hey, I'm going to watch this, and then I'll talk to you about it after you're done. Or as you go. I'd love to discuss with this stuff. That's a really big part of my YouTube channel in particular, is some YouTube channels have a review thing where they just review it, and that's it. I'd love to have conversations with people. I watch a movie, and then I figure out who else has watched the movie so I can talk to them about it. Like, wow, I literally brought, I think, like 7 people to go see Joker, like 3 times, because I loved Joker, and I wanted to talk about it with people. I went to see it with my girlfriend, a couple friends first, and I was like, crap, my brother has to see this. I showed him the movie, and then I got to talk to him about it forever. I'd love to talk to you guys about it. So if you guys have seen this and you want to talk about it, drop in the comments below, or in the Facebook group, or send me a message, whatever you'd like to do with any of the movies that I put up. I'd love to discuss anything with you and get your thoughts. But I'm going to give this season an A. Not quite an A+, because there were some side stories that I think in most Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episodes, there's a lot of stuff that just doesn't matter at all, which is why it's 24 episodes long, which is ridiculous. I mean, it's so long, it takes so long to watch all of it, but overall, just a phenomenal season, and as we go, I mean, they just get better and better. They reduce the stuff that doesn't matter by a lot, and I'm excited to talk about more with you. So, drop in the comments below if there's anything you want me to see and review. If you want to talk about this season at all or anything like that, I'd love to. I'm just sitting here waiting for you to contact me, okay? So do that. Subscribe. Tell everyone else to subscribe so they can get more of this. And they can see their favorite movies being reviewed and talked to by me. Join the Facebook group so we can talk about stuff and you can keep up to date with everything happening at Robert's Reviews. And as always, keep watching films, and I will see you in the next